Now, the DUP has been strongly condemned for its refusal to form a government in Northern Ireland as it falls deeper into political crisis. The Nationalist Party, Sinn Féin, who emerged as the largest party in last week's elections, accused the Unionists of paralysing Stormont in failing to nominate a speaker. But the DUP says it will not budge due to its concerns over the Northern Ireland Protocol, which leader Jeffrey Donaldson says poses a direct challenge to Northern Ireland. Newly elected members were supposed to meet on Friday for the inaugural day of the Assembly. For more on this, we're joined from London by our reporter, Vincent McAviney. Thanks for being with us, Vincent. This latest move by the DUP clearly raises the stakes over the future of the Northern Ireland Protocol. Is there any way out, in your opinion, of this current impasse?
Yeah, it did do. There was a bit of surprise that they wouldn't even allow for the election of a speaker. They'd already signalled that they wouldn't allow the formation of an executive over the protocol. And there is a lot of anger in Northern Ireland, not just from politicians, but from the general public about this, because once again, their assembly is not able to sit. Over the past 2 decades or so that it has been around, there have been many occasions, once as long as 3 years, where power sharing broke down and you had to have rule from Westminster. So people are angry that once again the politicians cannot get around the table. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has announced that he will be travelling to Northern Ireland on Monday for talks on this. But at the moment, the UK has said already this week that it's taken independent legal advice that it might unilaterally try to override some of the Northern Ireland Protocol in the Brexit deal. But the EU at the moment still holding firm, despite calls from the UK to be more flexible on the negotiations. At the moment, the EU position still seems to be that this is what was agreed and this is what you signed up for. You knew that putting a border, effectively a customs border in the Irish Sea, would have an impact on the Unionist community, and that this is what you agreed to.
And how have Northern Ireland's other political parties reacted to the DUP's refusal to nominate a speaker? And is there any faith in that Westminster can broker a solution?
Well, there is a lot of anger across the political spectrum in Northern Ireland in the other parties at the fact that the DUP has decided to do this. It is anti-democratic. It comes just a week after a free and fair election. And there's also a little bit of suspicion amongst the public and some in the Catholic community and the parties that are aligned with the Republican sentiment in the DUP, because they never expected to lose control. For the last 2 decades, they've been the dominant party in the power sharing, the way it's set up. They have been the First Minister, and Sinn Féin has held the position of Deputy First Minister. But for now, this has finally flipped, and there is some suspicion that it's the fact that they cannot simply handle the fact that they are not in full power anymore, that they've only been paying lip service to power sharing, and that they're just simply not happy to take on that position of deputy leader, because the action they've taken today prevents Sinn Féin from taking over that First Minister position. So there is that suspicion there. In terms of hopes for how this can be resolved, well, a sign of how dire it's viewed across the Atlantic in the White House is a delegation now from the US Congress is coming, a high-profile delegation to the UK and to Northern Ireland in the next few days to try and have talks to resolve this, because there's genuine concern that any kind of disruption carrying on where there isn't power sharing going on with the Brexit protocol, there are angry discussions with the EU, that this could really heighten tensions. This is still a post-conflict society, a deeply divided society, and there had been, before Brexit, a lot of attempts to try and heal the cross-border wounds. Brexit has opened some of them up once again. You're moving into a sensitive time in the calendar as well. The summer, you see the marching season, the bonfire season in the Protestant community. And so there's real concern that this could be another blow to the peace process.